Looks like you need a vacation. Enter the 5-Hour Energy Where Will the Tide Take You sweepstakes. You could win a $10,000 dream beach vacation. Imagine jet setting off to a tropical paradise, having fun in the sun, or diving at a gorgeous reef. It's up to you. No purchase necessary. Go to 5HETide.com for official rules and to enter. That's 5HETide.com. Enter today. Ends June 30th, 2024.
Local news, national news, even feel-good news, delivering the topics that are relevant to you.
That's why I listen to Joe. He covers it all.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
I had a buddy of mine who texted me and he says, "Hey man, tell me about that church you go to." And so I told him about the church that I go to and where it is. And I think he was getting at that he didn't have a place to go for Easter, and he was looking for a place to go for Easter. And I was happy to share with him the details. So let me share the same with you. And if you have a desire to go to church and you don't have a church home, and you're looking for somewhere to go to church on Easter, I go to Mosaic Church. In fact, I volunteer at Mosaic Church. It is in Winter Garden on West Colonial. It is in a shopping center of sorts. I think it's, was there a store called H.H. Gregg? Was that like an appliance store or something like that? I think that's what it once was some time ago. But it's beautiful on the inside. On the outside, it looks like it could be a Kmart. But it's clean and nice and fancy. And I volunteer at Mosaic Church, and our Sunday services for Easter Sunday, we have 4 services. We have 2 services tonight for Good Friday, and obviously I won't be at either of them because I choose to be here with you guys, and I'm evidently obligated to be here with you guys. So it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of a commitment. It's a little bit of a choice. You get the idea. But I'm not going to be at Good Friday services. But if you're looking for a Sunday Easter service, you are more than welcome to join us at Mosaic Church, and our service times on Sunday are 8 a.m., 9:45 a.m., 11:45 a.m., and 1:30 p.m., and the address is 14175 West Colonial Drive in Winter Garden, Mosaic Church. Jesus is light, life, and freedom, and I'm very excited about our services. In fact, if you happen to go, I'm volunteering for the first 3 services, so I'll be there at 8 a.m., at the 9:45 a.m., and the 11:45 a.m. services. For each of those, I'll be wearing a blue shirt. I'll have a name tag on that says Joe, and I'll be tall and skinny. I'm tall and skinny at the moment, but I will still be tall and skinny on Sunday. I have no plans to change between now and Sunday. So just look for a tall, skinny guy in a blue shirt with a name tag that says Joe, and please say hi to me. I would love to get a chance to meet you. You guys know what, like Easter and Christmas, Paul Cross, you guys, you know that, like Easter and Christmas, there are some people that only go to church on Christmas and Easter, right?
Right. That's the 2 big ones in the year. And there are 2 different names that are used to describe those people. I've heard them called creasters, like Christmas, Easter, they're creasters. They only show up. And then I've heard them referred to as CEOs, as in Christmas and Easter only. So if you're a creaster or a CEO, or if you're just looking for a new church, maybe you're new to the area and you're just looking for a new church, look, I will tell you that we are blessed in this community to have a lot of absolutely fantastic churches. And I've been to a lot of them. And I would not ever besmirch anybody's church or services. I'm simply throwing it out there. If you need a home for Sunday, by all means, you are invited. To every church, any church within the sound of my voice, and B, you're invited to Mosaic Church, and if you do, look for me. Just say hi. I'd love to say hi to you. I will probably be ushering on those 3 services that I'm going to be there Easter Sunday, because we expect overflow seating because of the creasters and the CEOs and such. I have to say, Joe, that I've been in this business just like you have, over 40 years. You are the only on-air personality that I have ever worked with that tells listeners exactly where you're going to be, at what time. Yeah. You have your own personal cell phone on your business card.
Yes.
You are
extremely approachable.
I
admire that about you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. And you're right. I'm sure there's a security lapse in here somewhere of telling you exactly where I'm going to be and what to look for. And
here's my cell phone number. Right. And it's like, wow.
If I suddenly see a red dot on my shirt or something, like, oh, that's not good.
A laser.
Someone's got a target on me. I better wipe that off. But yeah, I love our people. I love our listeners, and I honestly, I love being on the radio. I love being on the radio as much today as the very first day I was on the radio, and I love talking to listeners, and it's truly the blessing and the joy of my life. And I don't mean to get all religious and stuff, but I feel the joy of God when I'm on the radio. I feel God's joy in my heart when I'm on the radio, even when we're talking about difficult topics, even when I'm getting yelled at, even when people are upset with me. I mean, I still feel the joy of God in my profession. And that's kind of hard to do for a lot of people with your professions, is to find a way to still enjoy and find the joy in God, in your professions, especially for people who hate their jobs. I'm just not one of those people that hates my jobs. I love what I do, and I am so blessed that I get to do this night after night, day after day, and it's pretty darn awesome. All right, coming up in the next hour, 6 o'clock hour, it is our Friday night fun and games. We do this every Friday night. If you're new to the show, maybe you're new to Orlando, every Friday night, the 6 to 7 o'clock hour, we unbutton our top button on our dress shirts. We loosen up our neckties a little bit. We slip off our dress shoes and put on some slippers, and we just get comfortable and we lighten up, because nobody wants to go into the weekend discussing, terrible things in the news that are happening these days. So we try to take it easy in that last hour on the last day of the week. That'll be coming up at 6 o'clock. And it is our Friday night impossible trivia tonight. I'm adding something new that we've never done before, and that is riddles. So we're going to have trivia questions, riddles, and we'll have trivia questions about theoretical physics, which I'm really excited about. Asking trivia questions about theoretical physics to see how good everybody does. All right, it's time, according to the clock on the wall, for the presidential pinger. We have low-jacked each of the presidential candidates, so we've got GPSs on them, and we're tracking them as they make their way around the United States. We ping them every night at about this hour. We call it the Joe Kelley Presidential Pingers. We're 4 days away from the last of the big primary election days. 5 states vote next Tuesday. That's Connecticut, Delaware, New York, Rhode Island, and Wisconsin. Then a bunch of just states here and there are going to vote through early June. By mid-July, we'll have the Republican convention in Milwaukee. That's where Donald Trump will be there with his vice presidential candidate. And then we'll have the Democratic convention in August. That's where Joe Biden will be with his vice presidential candidate, one would imagine, Kamala Harris. We're 221 days until the general election. Here's the latest news. Just 5% of Donald Trump supporters say that they would change their vote in November if Trump is convicted of a crime. Just 5%. While 93% say they will still vote for him. That according to a new Daily Mail JL Partners poll. 93% say they would still vote for him. How about you? What say you? Hit us up right now in the open mic in the WDBO app. If, by chance, between now and November, Donald Trump is convicted of a crime, will you still vote for him, or will that change your vote or change your opinion of Donald Trump? Hit us up right now in the open mic in the WDBO app. Well, you certainly saw this on some of the cable news channels today. You'll see it on the network news tonight. Joe Biden's big splashy fundraiser with former presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton at Radio City Music Hall last night did indeed raise the more than $25 million that organizers had expected. A bunch of Hollywood celebrities were there as well. Stephen Colbert was the moderator of it. Lizzo got up on stage and sang. Despite Biden's record-breaking sum, Donald Trump is aiming to outdo him next week with a $33 million fundraiser. The April 6th Mar-a-Lago confab will run guests $250,000 ahead, or $814,600 to be called a chairman. Is that a weird number? $814,600 to be named a chairman? Where does one get that number exactly? Seems an odd number. I wonder why. Elsewhere in the money game, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s super PAC picked up $2.1 million at an event after he announced Nicole Shanahan as his running mate. Joe Biden releases a new digital ad today in which Biden, instead of talking about how great Biden is, he's trying to sow division with the Republicans. He's trying to sow division between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley supporters. Take a listen.
Bird brain. I call it bird brain. Nikki Haley has made an unholy alliance with rhinos, never Trumpers, Americans for no prosperity. She was sitting there like...
She's gone crazy. She's a very angry person.
She is not presidential timber. I don't need votes. We have all the votes we need.
She's gone haywire.
There aren't that many never Trumpers anymore.
How do you bring these Nikki Haley voters back into the tent?
I'm not sure we need too many.
And lastly here, Lara Trump has a new single. She dropped a new single today. Lara Trump, in case you're confused as to which Trump she belongs to, she is married to Eric Trump, the third child of Donald Trump. She released a new single. Do you guys want to hear it? Do you want to hear Lara Trump's new song? I'd be happy to play it for you. Here's at least the hook.
You can't give up. Know that anything is possible. Have faith, believe, just trust. You'll see anything is possible.
All right, Laurel, you're kind of a music aficionado. What is your first takeaway in hearing that hook there from Lara Trump?
Auto-tune.
That was exactly my thought. That is so auto-tuned. How do we explain, for anybody who doesn't know what auto-tune is, how do we explain what auto-tune is?
It's a program that will make your voice match the pitch and notes it's supposed to match and makes you a good singer, essentially.
So you can be totally off key and you run it through a computer and it auto-tunes you, automatically gets you to the right tune, and then it sounds like you're a pretty good singer.
Yeah, albeit a little robotic, but yeah.
And I'll listen to it once again and you'll hear what Laurel's talking about.
You can't give up. Know that anything is possible. Have faith, believe, just trust. You'll see anything is possible.
Yeah, seems like a good song. It seems fine, but boy, it's so auto-tuned. You can't say she's a great singer because it's all auto-tuned. At least when, Cher was the one who popularized auto-tune when she had that song, do you believe in love or something like that? Believe, yeah. But at least in that case, that song was over auto-tuned for the effect.
Yes, that they used it exactly for that. But now the critique is that every singer is using that in case they happen to go flat on any certain note. It brings it right back to exactly where it's supposed to be, and you sound perfect.
Yeah, that's the presidential pinger.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me go.
Coming up next on the Joe Kelley Show, all the stories that you missed while you're at work today, including the death of a Hollywood celebrity, an Academy Award winner. We'll have that for you, and all the other headlines you missed while you're at the office today. That's coming up next on the Joe Kelley Show.
Swimsuit? Check. Sunscreen? Check. Phone charger? Check. Don't forget to pack the 5-Hour Energy. It fits great in a pocket or carry-on, and the alert feeling will help you arrive ready for anything. Now get 20% off when you use code 5HETRAVEL at 5hourenergy.com. Expires April 30th. One-time use only. Not valid with other discounts. Remember, visit 5hourenergy.com and use code 5HETRAVEL to save 20%.
Now, the 3 big things you need to know. Powered by Hard Rock Bet.
3.
The wealthiest 1% just got richer. The Federal Reserve on Thursday reported the top 1% reached a record $44 trillion in combined wealth at the end of last year. The most recent gains came from stock value increases, which netted over $2 trillion in the fourth quarter.
2.
A Pennsylvania man who allegedly killed his neighbor with a chainsaw while wearing a scream mask is being charged with criminal homicide. Layton Borough police arrested 30-year-old Zach Moyer without incident after Monday's attack.
1.
Former Connecticut Senator Joseph Lieberman laid to arrest after funeral services today in his hometown of Stamford. He died Wednesday at the age of 82 in New York City due to complications from a fall. An additional memorial service will be held at a later date.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
The beginning of auto-tuning really in pop culture. Cher was the originator on that. I don't know if other artists were doing it prior to Cher. They possibly were, but it was really Cher who kind of popularized that, regrettably. And now anybody who doesn't have a voice at all, anybody who can't sing and is maybe just a pretty face or something like that, is able to start singing and have a career. And that's, it is what it is, I suppose. All right, it is time, folks. It's a busy workday today.
Stepping out of the office elevator and into today's top stories. Here's what you missed while you were at work.
All right, President Biden seeks to accelerate the nation's transition to electric trucks and buses, a follow-up to his tougher rules on cars, now releasing the strongest ever measures on big rigs and big trucks. Louis Gossett Jr., the first black man to win the Best Supporting Actor Oscar, has died at the age of 87. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think I knew that Louis Gossett Jr. was still alive. The Biden administration greenlights more bombs and airplanes for Israel despite a widening rift with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm sure that the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas protesters are going to love that decision from the Biden administration. I don't know if you know this, but the big star-studded thing at Radio City Music Hall last night for the Biden fundraiser was interrupted multiple times by pro-Hamas and pro-Palestinian protesters. Donald Trump and 8 co-defendants have filed an application to appeal Judge McAfee's decision to keep Fulton County DA Fani Willis on the Georgia election interference case. And Donald Trump's attorneys filed a motion challenging the gag order in his New York hush money case. Those are the stories that you missed while you're at work today. We have a bit of a controversy in the news media that I wanted to share with you. There is outrage over the Associated Press winning a picture story of the year. They've won, the awards are run by the Donald W. Reynolds Journalism Institute at Missouri School of Journalism, the world's oldest photojournalism competition. And the AP won the competition with a photo. You've probably seen the picture. It is horrific to look at. But it's the 23-year-old German-Israeli tattoo artist who was at the music festival on October 7th when Hamas terrorists raided Israel, raped her, mutilated her, threw her into the back of a pickup truck along with Hamas terrorists, at which point a photographer for the Associated Press snapped the photo. And that photo has now won Photo of the Year. And then the AP, they posted it on their social media, their Instagram pages, unblurred photos of this beautiful young woman's mutilated, may or may not at the time have been dead body. We do know that they later beheaded the woman. Whether or not she had life in her body was lifeless there at the time. Evidently, due to the outrage, the Associated Press has now deleted the picture from their social media. And I got to tell you, I would caution the Associated Press to not tout their victory too much, but I don't think it's wrong to award them. I'm going to describe another photo that you've probably seen. There is a picture of a little girl, a black girl. She couldn't be, I don't know, she might be 3 or 4, but she looks like she's 18 months. It was in, where was this? In Sudan. a little black girl naked, and she is skin and bones. And in the background, there is a vulture just waiting. That picture, as horrific as it is to look at, it won the Pulitzer Prize in 1994.
What about Falling? Is it Falling Man from 9/11?
Falling Man from 9/11, I think, also won a Pulitzer Prize. I hate to tell you this, but what we do in the media, 9 times out of 10, when we get awards, it's because of something that terrible happened that we covered in the media. We have an award that's sitting on the windowsill in Laurel's studio right now that we got, and we flew to New York City to pick up this award because of our coverage of the Pulse terror attack. And it is what it is. I mean, we rose up, we had outstanding coverage, but it is a terrible, terrible thing to win a prize for. But it happens. You can share your thoughts, 844-580-WDBO, or use the open mic in the WDBO app.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Connected to our community. Talk local issues and events with Joe Kelley. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let Joe know what interests you. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
So I want to revisit this. The Associated Press winning the Teen Picture Story of the Year, which was actually a collection of 20 photographs that helped the AP secure the first place Picture of the Year International Award earlier this month. And one of those pictures included the dead body, or at least the lifeless body, which eventually became the dead body, of a 23-year-old German-Israeli tattoo artist who was abducted, raped, killed as part of the October 7th onslaught and massacre in Israel. And people are outraged by this. And I will be the first to tell you that it's a sensitive topic, and the AP should have known better than just putting it up on Instagram and patting themselves on the back and saying, look at us, we're so great. That is way too sensitive a topic to do that. But you've heard the adage, and I hate it, but you've heard the adage, if it bleeds, it leads. I don't like that adage. We don't use that adage here in our newsroom. But I do remember my first day of journalism class. The first thing they teach you is that the media doesn't report on the building that doesn't burn. The media does not report on the plane that doesn't crash. And so more times than not, when you see people online on social media, news anchors, news reporters, people you follow, people you like, and they're holding up their Emmys or their Murrow Awards or their Marconi Awards or whatever it is, more times than not, it's because of something that happened terrible in the news. And this is the business that we're in. This is the business we choose to be in. And I remember when I was in college, my first college roommate was a paramedic. I think at the time we referred to him just as an ambulance driver, but I know that these days they're not just ambulance drivers, they're paramedics or EMTs. And I remember one morning I was getting up for class, and he was just getting home from his overnight shift as a paramedic. And he said, man, we had the worst night last night. And in my head, I imagined, oh my gosh. So I said to him, what did you have? Like all kinds of car crashes and gunshots and all that stuff? He says, no, the phone didn't ring once all night. It was terrible. And I thought, what a screwed up world you live in. What a terrible and screwed up world that a bad night for you as a paramedic is a night when the phones don't ring. But now that I do what I do, I get it. Because you train for this. Firefighters train every day for this. Police officers train every day for this. Not saying that they're adrenaline junkies, not saying that they get off on it, but they train for this. This is what they train to do. And it's the same for the media. And I will tell you, particularly in a war zone, they're putting their lives on the line to capture the brutality of war. And what happened on October 7th was war. And war is ugly. And you know what? War should be ugly. I have long argued. In fact, I got in trouble once during the start of the Gulf War for a different radio station I was working at back in that day, because I put pictures online of ugly war incidents, and I was told, don't put pictures up like that, because it showed the brutality of war. It was burned bodies, mutilated bodies. We in the media, regrettably, sanitize war. We make war look pretty because we leave out all the gross stuff. I prefer to be transparent. I prefer to have more information, not less. And I believe that we in the media have a responsibility to show you the ugly, ugly truth.
You know, Joe, I saw somebody comment on that picture, something like, how dare they, that journalist has a moral obligation to do something. And while I understand how upset they were, I argue the journalist's obligation is to show you and tell you the truth, not to stop them, not to get in the middle of it. But their job is to tell the world the truth of what's going on.
And that's an important role to play. Honestly, so I took an ethics and journalism course in college. I'm actually a little surprised I remember most of these things. But they set up the question as such. You are covering, in fact, we just had this story happen in real life. You are at a protest rally as a reporter, a photographer, and you see a man that has a gasoline canister, and he starts to pour gasoline over himself, and he reaches for a lighter, and you know he's about to set himself on fire. What is your obligation as a journalist? To intercede and stop him from setting himself on fire, or to simply be witness to what's about to happen? And I will tell you that there's not really a right answer. Your mileage may vary on those. You ever watch those documentaries with, the animals in the wild, and you see the little coyote cub get carried off by, and you're like, why didn't they just save the little cub? But they're not supposed to get involved. They're supposed to just record what's happening. Paul.
I had a really good friend that covered the Gulf War in the 90s. He was a cameraman. And he said, I have seen through my lens some very horrendous things. And I said, how do you deal with that? Because I couldn't do that. I could not. It would affect me for life if I saw that. He said everything that he looked at was through his lens. So therefore, he had to take himself out of reality and make it something through the lens. And he said, when I did that, I was able to do my job. But I just had to take it out of reality equation. It just like it wasn't really happening. It was through the camera lens.
And as tough as it is, to be a war correspondent, to be a war reporter, we should be thankful that they're there. We should be thankful that someone is documenting the horrific acts that are taking place with as objective as an eye as possible. I don't think there is any such thing as a purely objective eye when it comes to journalism. We all bring to every scenario certain biases and preconceived notions. But thank God there are people that are willing to put their lives on the line. I mean, there's already been like 35 journalists that have been killed since October 7th in the Israel-Gaza-Hamas conflict war. 35 some odd journalists have been killed. Now, some of them have been Palestinians. They've been more on the terrorist side than the legitimate media side. But a whole lot of legitimate media have been killed. And Laurel, you've been reporting today on the Gershkovich, the guy who writes for the Washington Post, who's in a Russian jail.
Yeah, Evan Gershkovich. He was over there trying to report on things, and they decided that he should be charged with espionage charges. And he's been in a jail where they're known to torture people for a year plus now, and they've just extended his sentence, unfortunately.
And I know it's easy to hate on the media, and I get it. And I'll tell you, we are far, far from perfect. We are worse today than we've ever been. So I get it. I get the disdain for the media. I totally get it. I'm often self-loathing. I'm often embarrassed by media, that which I am a part. But there is such an important need for people to document the cruelty, the viciousness, the brutality, the inhumanity of humanity. It's so very important to document that. And it is a shame. Again, if the AP is worthy of any criticism, to me, it's don't make a big social media post. Don't go tooting your horn. People died. You know, it's one of the reasons why, when we don't advertise about why we've won certain awards. We don't advertise certain awards because of why we won them. I mean, I don't think we've ever once put a promo on the air for winning a Gracie Award. A Gracie Award is one of the highest awards that you can win in radio. And they literally flew us all to New York City for this big extravagant ceremony and called Laurel and me and a couple of others up on stage. And we accepted this. And it was amazing. But we won it for our coverage of the Pulse nightclub terror attack. 50 people died. 49 people died. And a terrorist. I mean, 49 people died from that. But we don't promote that. We don't tout that award. It just quietly sits on a windowsill. It actually looks like an ice cream scooper. Every time I see it, I'm like, well, we should scoop some ice cream. It's a weird looking award. You should grab it, Laurel, and show it to the people in our chat group because it's right there on our windowsill, and it does. It looks like an ice cream scooper as soon as you see it. So check it out here on the WDBO Facebook page, and you'll be able to see it. Laurel's, yeah. Then does that not look like that should be scooping ice cream? Absolutely so. So that's the Gracie Award that we flew all the way to New York City to get some time ago. All right, coming up at 6 o'clock, it's our Friday night fun and games. It's our impossible trivia tonight. We're going to be asking trivia questions about theoretical physics. We'll also have some easier questions as well. So don't worry. Let not your heart be troubled, as the Bible says. Hannity says it too, but it was in the Bible first. We'll have that for you coming up at 6 o'clock. Stay with us here on The Joe Kelley Show.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. For 100 years, we've been your voice, your source, your heartbeat. From the roaring 20s to the digital age, we've been there for it all. Happy 100th anniversary, WDBO, where history and headlines meet.
All right, we got the Friday night fun and games coming up in the next hour, and then I've got a lacrosse game to make it to tonight. The lacrosse game starts at 6, which means so we had my twin sons, Black and Decker, are playing lacrosse. We had a lacrosse game last night at 6 as well. And by the time I got there, I got off there at 7. By the time I got there, I literally got there for the last 3 seconds of the game. I walked in and I saw the scoreboard, and it was 3, 2, 1. And I hadn't even had a seat yet in the bleachers. I was still walking towards the bleachers. I'd walked past the food truck, the concession area, and I hadn't even made it to the bleachers. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, I can't believe this. So I felt so terrible. So I'm going to totally jet out of here at 6:59 and 58 seconds, just so I could at least catch a little bit more of their game tonight. Lacrosse is fun. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a lacrosse game, but I'm enjoying the heck out of watching lacrosse. That's a fast-paced, exciting game. It's like hockey meets soccer, kind of meets basketball. I mean, I see a little bit of so many different sports in lacrosse, but it's fun to watch. By the way, I had the one of the AI generators, the image generators. I was talking about Jesus on the cross, and it came up with a Jesus playing lacrosse, which I didn't mean to, but it still was pretty cool. I would share it with you, but we are under strict instructions that we're not allowed to create any kind of AI-generated imagery and share it with our listeners. So do it on your own. Create an AI image generation of Jesus and the cross, or La Crosse, and you'll probably be pretty excited about what you saw. I shared it with my boys. All right, our Friday Night Fun and Games Impossible Trivia is coming up next. As we like to say, don't nobody go nowhere.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Now, from the Bogan Munz & Munz WDBO Traffic Center. Auto accident? Choose Bogan Munz & Munz.
Well, that earlier crash is still causing trouble. I mean, there's no lanes that are blocked, but it's still causing lots of brake lights on the turnpike southbound after Osceola Parkway. Traffic still heavy starting before the 417. I'll have a full report for you in just a minute. Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com. Get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing. From the WDBO Traffic Center, I'm Paul Cross.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Orlando's news and talk. Insightful.
You tell the truth from your point of view.
Entertaining.
Man, that guy is a lot taller than he sounds on the radio.
And engaging.
When we hear you on the radio, it's a good thing.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
I'm so excited. It is Friday night. It's not just Friday. It's a good Friday. I would say it's even a great Friday. The weather is gorgeous, sunny now, 76 degrees, and it is the last hour of the work week for us, and we know that a lot of you guys are all headed home right now to love on your families and to kick your shoes off and relax a little bit. So we want you to go home in a good mood. So we are not going to talk about doom and gloom, death and destruction. Instead, we're going to have some fun here. Our Friday Night Fun and Games with our Impossible Trivia. Our contestants are Laurel Lee. Hello, Laurel.
Hello there.
We have Paul Cross. Hello, PC.
Hey there.
And we have Jake Jordan. Hello, Jake.
Hello there.
So we don't have what's his name, Greg, tonight, because he's off.
What's his
tonight.
name is fine. Just
yeah,
what's his name?
He's off tonight.
The guy from The Thing, you know.
So instead of Greg, we have Jake, which is cool. For some reason I wrote down Greg, which is weird. All right, so we're gonna have 3 rounds of trivia questions. Everybody, you write down 1 point for each one you get right, unless it's one of the physics questions. If you get the physics question right, you get 10 points. Okay? You ready? Question number 1. What was the name of the virtual reality world featured in the 1982 film Tron? Okay, so we know that in the film The Matrix, their virtual reality world was called The Matrix. What was the name of the virtual reality world in the film Tron? Question number 2. Which 2000s TV show featured a group of survivors trying to survive on a mysterious island after a plane crash? Which 2000s TV drama featured a group of survivors trying to survive on a mysterious island after a plane crash? Number 3 is a riddle. Oh, I know you guys love riddles. Are you ready? I speak without a mouth, and I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
There's going to be a lot of question marks on my answer sheet. Just letting you know.
Oh, wait till you hear the next one. Question number 4. What is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle? I'll give you a moment.
Please, give me a moment, please.
What is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle? If you're playing along in your car, pull over, write down your answer. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Question number 5. What was the name of the fictional high school in the TV show Saved by the Bell? I know that was your favorite show, Laurel. I know you know this. What was the name of the fictional high school in the TV show Saved by the Bell? Question number 6. What was the name of the viral dance move that originated from the 2015 song Watch Me by Silento? Or Silento. Watch Me. Remember that? That was a thing for a hot minute. Question number 7 is a riddle. I know you love the riddles. I could just do riddles all night. Here's your riddle. The person who makes it sells it. The person who buys it never uses it. The person who uses it never knows they're using it. What is it? The person who makes it sells it. The person who buys it never uses it. The person who uses it never knows they're using it. What is it? Question number 8. Who played the role of E.T. in the 1982 film E.T. the Extraterrestrial? Who played the role of E.T. in the 1982 film E.T. the Extraterrestrial? Question number 9 is a riddle. I know how much you guys love riddles. Me saying that doesn't make it true, I know. But I know how much you love riddles. What has a head and a tail but no body? What has a head and a tail but no body? And your last question in round 1. Which 1990s boy band was known for hits like I Want It That Way and Quit Playing Games? Come on, Laurel. I know you were like the president of the fan club. Which 1990s boy band was known for hits like I Want It That Way and Quit Playing Games? All right. Let's see if we have answers here. Keep your own score. All right, number 1. What was the name of the virtual reality world featured in the 1982 film Tron? Laurel.
Tron.
Paul.
I have no idea. I'm going to go with the word skip from now on. I'm going to get you that plenty times.
Jake.
I just put the game.
The game. Turn your mic up just a little bit. And all 3 of you are wrong. It's the grid. The grid. Come on, guys. Which 2000s TV show featured a group of survivors trying to survive on a mysterious island after a plane crash? Laurel.
Survivor.
Paul.
Survivor is what I had.
Jake.
Lost.
Lost is the right answer.
That's correct.
Jake, congratulations. Number 3. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
A wind chime?
Paul.
Skip.
Jake.
An echo in the wind?
It's an echo. That's exactly right.
Well, look at Jake. Okay.
I know, right? Well, let's see if Jake knows the next one. Question number 4. What is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle? Laurel.
Skip.
Paul.
Skip.
Jake.
Skip.
Really?
Really?
Like you're surprised.
Evidently, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle states that it is impossible to simultaneously know both the exact position and momentum of a particle with absolute certainty.
Josh in our chat.
I had that.
How did I not know that?
Josh in our chat had that.
Oh, is that right?
Point to Josh.
Oh, good for him. Congratulations. All right, question number 5. What was the name of the fictional high school in the TV show Saved by the Bell? Laurel.
No idea.
Paul.
Skip.
Jake.
Have to skip it.
How? Bayside High.
Oh, that rings a bell.
Right? Bayside High. Number 6, what was the name of the viral dance move that originated from the 2015 song Watch Me by Silento? Laurel.
Floss.
Paul.
I don't know. Skip.
Jake.
I put whip and nay-nay.
It was the whip and the nay-nay. Remember that?
I did that with one of your twin sons once.
Yes.
He taught me how to.
To whip and nay-nay.
Yes,
I know.
right.
I
All right,
know.
Jake, how old are you?
Yeah.
I'm 24.
24. Okay.
All right, number 7 is a riddle. The person who makes it sells it. The person who buys it never uses it. The person who uses it never knows they're using it. What is it? Laurel.
Hope, guilt, I don't know.
Paul.
Don't know.
Jake.
I put a grave.
Yeah, it's a coffin.
Okay.
A coffin.
Well, that goes.
I think that's a point.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll give it to him.
Oh, sure. Why not?
I'll take a half a point.
Number 8, who played the role of E.T. in the 1982 film E.T. the Extraterrestrial? Laurel.
Educated guess, Frank Oz.
It's a good guess. Paul Cross.
I said Billy Barty.
Billy Barty. Jake.
I have no idea.
This is a trick question. Nobody played E.T. in the movie E.T. There was no actor inside the costume. It was a puppet created by special effects artist Carlo Rambaldi. So, Laurel, you were the closest with Frank Oz, but you're still wrong. Number 9, what has a head and a tail but no body? Laurel.
Coin.
All right, Paul Cross.
I know this. A coin.
And Jake.
It is, in fact, a coin.
It is, in fact, a coin. You're right. And our last question for round 1, which 1990s boy band was known for hits like I Want It That Way and Quit Playing Games? Laurel.
Backstreet Boys.
Paul.
Backstreet Boys.
Jake.
That would be the Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Congratulations. All right, that wraps up round 1 of our Friday Night Fun and Games Impossible Trivia. Round 2 is coming up next. Stay right there. We'll continue on The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Breaking news to lively debates, covering the issues that matter to you.
I make it a point to listen to Joe Kelley when I need to fully understand what's happening in the news.
Now, The Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's News and Talk, WDBO.
Friday Night Fun and Games. It is our Impossible Trivia with our contestants, Laurel, Paul, and Jake. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Jake is currently in the lead. I think that's probably safe to say. I think we have a ringer. All right, we have 5 more questions here. This is round 2 of our Impossible Trivia. Question number 1. What was the name of the fictional high school where the TV show Beverly Hills 90210 took place? What was the name of the fictional high school where the TV show Beverly Hills 90210 took place? Question number 2 is a riddle. I have...
All right.
I know how much you guys love riddles. I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? Question number 3. What was the name of the famous rap group known for hits like Fight the Power and Public Enemy Number 1? What was the name of the famous rap group known for hits like Fight the Power and Public Enemy Number 1? Question number 4. What is the difference between nuclear fusion and nuclear fission? The difference between nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. I'll give you a second to write that down. Laurel, you've already stopped writing. It concerns me.
I never even picked up my pen.
All right, and question number 5. Who played the role of Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series? Who played the role of Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series? Right, here we go. Question number 1. Laurel, are you ready?
Yeah.
What was the name of the fictional high school where TV series Beverly Hills 90210 took place?
I've never seen a single episode of that.
So you should know it, right?
No.
Paul Cross.
Skip.
Jake.
I have no idea.
How do you guys not even have a guess on this one? Would you be surprised if I told you it was Beverly Hills High School?
But that's not a fictional.
Would you be surprised if I told you it was actually West Beverly Hills High School?
Nope.
Number 2.
I wish you could see facial expressions on the radio. They're
You
a bunch
can
of,
if you visit our chat room.
They're a bunch of sourpusses. All right. Number 2 is the riddle that you guys love. I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? Laurel.
I don't know. Piano.
Paul.
It's either a computer or a typewriter keyboard.
Jake.
I also put piano.
It is a keyboard. Paul Cross got one right. Oh, my gosh.
Good night, everybody. I'm gone. That's
All right. Number 3. What was the name of the famous rap group known for hits like Fight the Power and Public Enemy Number 1? Laurel.
I don't know.
Paul.
Can I give you initials only?
Yeah, sure.
NWA.
Jake.
Public Enemy.
Wait, Jake. Are you telling me that the answer to the question is contained in the actual question itself? Is that what you're getting at?
Maybe.
It is true, yes.
So the group that sang a song called Public Enemy Number 1 is the group Public Enemy?
Yes.
That is exactly right. What is the difference between nuclear fusion and nuclear fission? Laurel.
One separates and one joins.
Huh. Paul.
Yes.
Jake.
So I put the fusion is the combining of two nuclear atoms, and fission is splitting.
Oh my gosh. That's right.
Oh my.
Jake, you're fired. You're fired, Jake.
Is he Googling these answers? Is he looking them up?
Look at the history.
I feel like he's looking them up.
He's too smart to be here.
Wow.
I'm giving myself a point.
I just watched
You're giving
Oppenheimer.
yourself a point?
I said one joins and one separates.
Okay, fine. Fine. Take a point. Actually, remember, if you get the physics questions, that's worth 10 points. So you get 10 points.
Thank you. Like I have a chance to catch up to Jake, so.
All right, question number 5. Who played the role of Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series? Laurel.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Paul Cross.
Yep, that one I know. Correct.
Jake Jordan.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh my gosh, you guys all got one right. Have to make these questions so easy for everybody to get one right. What are your Easter plans? Laurel, go.
I'm going to church, and then I'm having dinner with my family.
That'll be nice. What is a...
No, that's incorrect, Laurel. You don't get a point for that.
What is a traditional Easter dinner in your family?
It is either ham or lamb.
Ham or lamb. That makes sense. What about you, PC? Do you have any kind of Easter plans?
Yeah, we have the mother-in-law here that now lives with us, so we're having a ham dinner, and we're pureeing everything for her.
I see. And Jake, what about you?
I get to drive down to sunny South Florida to get together with my mother's side of the family. And we will there's going to be Italian food because of the Italian side of the family, and then probably ham.
Joe, what about you? What are you doing? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thank you so much for inquiring. My whole family was going to get together on my wife's side of the family, but evidently there's a bug going around and they're all sick. And so we have scrubbed our launch attempt at a Easter get-together. So sweet Ronnie Sue and I are I'm going to be volunteering at church all morning anyway. So I'll be at church all morning. And we'll probably go grab some Chinese food in the afternoon.
You're welcome over our house for dinner if you decide it.
Thank you. Fa ra 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 ra. So that's what I'll be doing, no doubt, for Easter. We'll see if we can get together with the kids. My daughter's in town from college. She goes to the University of Tennessee, and she's in town. So hopefully get to see her a little bit. I saw her for a brief second.
Is she going to lacrosse tonight?
She will be at lacrosse. I have no doubt. She'll be at lacrosse tonight. I saw her last night at lacrosse for 3 seconds. I saw her for 3 whole seconds. And I hope to see her slightly more than 3 seconds for tonight's lacrosse game. All right. I've got like 2 minutes here.
You've got 1 minute. Don't take my minute.
I'm sorry. I've got 1 minute here. Anybody else?
Joe, I have to tell you that you have gotten me into Brooklyn Nine.
Oh, really? I'm so happy. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I cannot stop watching that, and the names that you just threw at me, Peralta and oh my gosh, I am just laughing my butt off on that show, and I have never watched it, so I'm on like the first Christmas show in the first season.
Oh, I'm so happy. So it's the first 4 seasons are on Netflix, but it's only the first 4 seasons. There are 8 seasons in total. The first 6 seasons were on Fox, and then the last 2 seasons, NBC picked it up. I think the last 2 seasons are the least best because they got kind of woke. Because the last 2 seasons were about when George Floyd happened, and so they got real woke, and it lost some of its comedic edge. I think
Andy Samberg is a genius.
He is, absolutely.
Is so
no
great.
no doubt about that. But I hear that the whole thing is on Peacock, which would make sense because that's NBC. So, all right, round 3 of our Friday night Impossible Trivia. That is coming up next. Stay with us here on The Joe Kelley Show.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. Join the conversation now by using the open mic in the WDBO app. Now, The Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's news and talk, WDBO.
Friday night fun and games. I'm glad you're joining us. Thanks for being here on the Joe Kelley Show. We like to unwind on a Friday. It's been a long work week. You guys are exhausted. You're excited about the holiday weekend. It's Good Friday today, Easter weekend. You might be doing an Easter egg hunt this weekend. Maybe you're going to be going to church Sunday morning. You're one of the Creasters or the CEOs, the Christmas and Easter only church crowd. Maybe you go every week. Maybe you don't go at all. We love you all, no matter what, man. We're glad you're here. Glad you're a part of the show. Fridays, we unwind. We try to chill out. We don't want you to go home angry and uptight. We want you to go home and feel good, feel happy. So this is why we do things a little bit differently Friday in our final hour. It is round 3 of our Impossible Trivia. Laurel, Paul, and Jake are our contestants. Are you guys ready for round 3?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ready for it. More riddles, please.
The enthusiasm is high here on our Friday Night Impossible Trivia. Next question. Question number 1 for round 3. What was the name of the fictional high school in the film Clueless? What was the name of the... Laurel, don't give me that face.
You with the fictional high schools.
Come on, you should know all of these. These are your people. What was the name of the fictional high school in the film Clueless? Question number 2. It's a riddle. I know how much you guys love riddles. I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old. What am I? I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old. What am I? Question number 3. What iconic hairstyle was popularized by Jennifer Aniston's character on the TV show Friends? What iconic hairstyle was popularized by Jennifer Aniston's character on the TV show Friends? Question number 4, it's worth 10 points. So it means it'll be an easy question. What is the term used to describe the theoretical boundary surrounding a black hole beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape? What is the term used to describe the theoretical boundary surrounding a black hole beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape? I'll give you a hint. There was a movie of the same name that starred Sam Neill, and I want to say Lawrence Fishburne. You should see the looks I'm getting. Question number 5. What was the name of the popular TV series about a group of survivors trying to survive a zombie apocalypse based on a comic book series of the same name? What was the name of the popular TV series about a group of survivors trying to survive a zombie apocalypse based on a comic book series of the same name? Number 6, it's a riddle. I know how much you guys like riddles. What starts with an E and ends with an E, but only has one letter in it? What starts with an E and ends with an E and only has one letter in it? Question number 7. Who played the titular character in the action comedy film Crocodile Dundee that was released in 1986? Who played the titular character in the action comedy film Crocodile Dundee, released in 1986? Question number 7. Nope, that was 7. Number 8. What was the name of the fictional town where the TV series Twin Peaks was set? What was the name of the fictional town where the TV series Twin Peaks was set? Question number 9, it's worth 10 points. In quantum mechanics, what principle states that it is impossible to simultaneously measure the exact position and momentum of a particle? In quantum mechanics, what principle states that it's impossible to simultaneously measure the exact position and momentum of a particle? Question number 10. Who is the creator of the iconic sci-fi TV series Star Trek? This is right up Laurel's alley. This is her thing. She is a big Trekkie. Who is the creator of the iconic sci-fi TV series Star Trek? And a bonus 11th question. It's a riddle, and I know how much you love riddles. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? The more you take. I have never seen.
Know these. I should really know all of these.
I have never seen such pain and agony in y'all's faces before. It's like I just killed your cat or something. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
They're forehead slappers, Joe, where after you hear the answer, you go, oh.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, let's go back to the top here. Question number 1. What was the name of the fictional high school in the film Clueless? Laurel.
I don't know.
Paul.
West Beverly Hills High.
Jake.
No idea.
It was Bronson Alcott High School. Question number 2 is a riddle. I'm tall when I'm young, but I'm short when I'm old. What am I? Laurel.
A person?
Paul.
Skip.
Jake.
Also put a person.
A candle. I'm tall when I'm young. I'm short when I'm old. It's a candle. Number 3. What iconic hairstyle was popularized by Jennifer Aniston's character on Friends? Laurel.
The Rachel.
Paul.
The Rachel.
Jake.
The Rachel.
All right.
I had one.
Question number... I bet you rocked it. Question number 4. It's worth 10 points. What is the term used to describe the theoretical boundary surrounding a black hole beyond which nothing, not even light, can escape? Laurel.
The black hole theory.
Paul.
The Big Bang Theory.
Jake.
I have nothing.
Somebody in our chat group has it. David Russell has it. The Event Horizon. So it was a movie. Bad movie. It wasn't a really good movie, but it was a movie. The Event Horizon. Question number 5. What was the name of a popular TV series about a group of survivors trying to survive a zombie apocalypse based on a comic book series of the same name? Laurel, don't let me down.
The Walking Dead.
Paul.
The Walking Dead is what I have.
Jake.
The Walking Dead.
Yes, all 3 of you got that one right. Congratulations. Laurel, you turned me on to that series. I like that series.
Yeah.
I like zombie movies and zombie series. All right, next one, number 6, it's a riddle. What starts with an E and ends with an E, but only has one letter in it? Laurel.
Envelope.
Paul.
E.
Jake.
E.
Envelope is the right answer. Laurel, congratulations. Laurel, you got a riddle.
I did it.
How about that? Number 7, who played the titular character in the action comedy film Crocodile Dundee, released in 1986? Laurel.
I only know that's not a knife.
We can give you like a quarter of a point for that.
Thanks.
Paul Cross.
Paul Hogan?
Jake Jordan.
No idea.
Paul Cross is right. It's Paul Hogan. Whatever happened to him? We should play Is He Dead or Alive?
We should.
Is he dead or alive?
I really don't know, but I think he's.
I'm going to say dead.
Departed.
I think he's dead also.
The next question you asked us a while ago, and I still don't even know if I have the right answer.
I thought I did. I thought this was a repeat question. So, number 8, what was the name of the fictional town where the TV series Twin Peaks was set? Laurel.
Twin Peaks.
Paul.
Twin Peaks.
Jake.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, yeah. I thought we had asked that one before. All right, question number 9 is worth 10 points. Question number 9, in quantum mechanics, what principle states that it is impossible to simultaneously measure the exact position and momentum of a particle? Laurel.
42.
Paul Cross.
The Big Bang Theory.
You said that earlier. Jake Jordan.
The string
I'm going to get it right sooner or later.
The string theory. No, the correct answer is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle.
Oh, that one was from the one before.
Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Number 10, who is the creator of the iconic sci-fi TV series Star Trek? Laurel.
Gene Roddenberry.
Paul.
Gene Roddenberry.
Jake.
No idea.
Gene Roddenberry is the right answer. And the 11th question, the bonus riddle, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Laurel.
Pictures?
Paul Cross.
Not a clue.
Jake Jordan.
Time?
You're going to slap your forehead. Are you ready? The more you take, the more you leave behind. Footsteps. Footsteps. Smack your head on that one, right? All right, our Friday night fun and games impossible trivia. We're going to add up our scores, calculate your scores at home, and we'll crown our grand champion, our winner of all of the marbles. Coming up next here on The Joe Kelley Show. Stay with us.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Talk and discussion on the latest breaking national news.
Crude oil prices continue to fall.
Local news.
You're not going to have Disney have its own government in Central Florida.
And stories that matter to you. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let your voice be heard on The Joe Kelley Show.
By the way, we do have to issue a correction. Paul Hogan, who played Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan is still alive. His career is dead, but Paul Hogan is still alive. He is.
But his wife was his co-star in that, and I think, did she pass away then?
No. Linda Kozlowski. They got married in 1990, divorced in 2014. She is still alive, and he's been married 3 times to 2 different women. So he married the first wife twice. Married her, divorced her, married her again, divorced her, and then married Linda Kozlowski, his co-star in the Crocodile Dundee films. He is now 84 years old. 84, and she is 66, for what it's worth. So she was a few years younger than he is. All right, who won? So, Laura, what's your score?
18.
Paul Cross.
Really? Oh, you had the 10, too.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay,
Jake?
I got 9.
All right, Jake.
So I got 20.
All right, Jake Jordan, congratulations.
Nicely done.
Your first victory here on the Impossible Trivia on a Friday night. Congratulations to you, Jake. Hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful family together on Easter. Hope you have a great, great Holy Weekend. And we'll see you back here Monday on the radio on The Joe Kelley Show.
What's spring like in Park City, Utah? Imagine waking up on a bluebird day to ski the greatest snow on Earth at 2 world-class resorts, Park City Mountain and Deer Valley. Exploring miles of wide-open spaces by snowshoe or cross-country skis. Wandering our historic Main Street with its après ski scene and award-winning restaurants. When you love it like we love it, Park City, Utah will always be winter's favorite town. Join the experience at visitparkcity.com.